Good evening and salutations, my B&B fans. So, question. What was the point of actually having Sheila in this episode? Like, what did she really do in this episode that was like, whoa, Sheila, you completely blew me away today. I am so glad she was in this episode. I mean, I was on the edge of my seat. All she did, you can guess what I'm going to sit there and say at this point, right? All she did was monologue like a damn DC villain for 5 to 7 minutes or however long she was there. Did they even really need to? Was Sheila even really there today? Why can't they just put stock footage at this point? You know, you know what Sheila said today? Same damn thing that she said, I think, on Friday. The same damn thing that she said, maybe Thursday. Brooke is not going to sit there and stop me. When is she ever going to learn not to mess with Sheila Carter and blah, 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 blah. Pretty sure this woman has been on the show for many, many years. And this is what they're choosing to do with her talent. Awesome. Brooke, this guy asked you, was you alone for drinking? Was you alone when you drank? I'm sitting there looking like, Brooke, you do realize you can't stop time, right? Like eventually, you're gonna have to answer this man's question, seeing how your husband is like literally sitting right next to you. The whole room is waiting. Okay, are you here? Where did you go? I'm literally sitting there like, after a while, I just kind of wrote, is she actually gonna sit there and answer this man's question? After a week later, she answers his question and she says, "No, I was, I was home alone." And she lies throughout the rest of the meeting. And she says she's grateful for Ridge for his support and stuff. Then they go home, and Ridge gets rid of the alcohol. So he gets rid of the alcohol. He says he's not going to leave her alone. And he says, as long as we have honesty, and I chuckled because I was just like, that was funny. After that, they hug, and she thinks about what she did when she kissed Santa Claus, as Douglas put it. So she did that, she thought, and it went absolutely nowhere. For today, Hope, all she did was sit there and blame herself for, Brooke's drinking, her relapse. And all Liam did was try to tell her that it's not her fault, that she's getting the best possible care that she can get. She's already on the right track by going to a meeting. She has a great support system, this, that, and the third. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't even be sitting there saying it like that, except for the fact that, well, Hope was blaming herself, I think, on Friday. And we all sat through that. And I get it. She felt guilty. And that's fine. Like Liam says, it's a testament to her being a great, loving person and daughter, and yada, yada, yada. Get that. That was Friday. It's Monday. We're still going through that. This is why, in some ways, I sit there and think that they need an hour. Because we could have just kind of covered this whole thing and just been done with it. And we wouldn't have to sit there and listen to Sheila monologue like a damn DC villain for 2 days straight. Well, for 2 days. Because reasons. So flaky Paris is there thinking about kissing Carter because, she's confused and she doesn't know what to do and blah, 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 blah. She's so confused that she was confused enough to sit there and direct her lips right towards Carter's mouth. She's confused. I have to think about that the next time I'm confused about anything. So she's confused. Zende comes in there. He comes up with some phony story about needing her help on some sort of project. Um, and her mom comes in. Her mom, which is I have no idea what the hell her mom's name is. I really don't. Um, this is why, in a lot of ways, I miss like old soap operas. And granted, I don't know if she's a new character. They could have just said her name. But my point is why I kind of miss like the old soap operas in the '90s, like GH, and I think like One Life to Live. Um, Hell, even Port Charles. My point is, they used to actually put people's names down there, and I would know who these people were. And I wouldn't be standing there having to pause stuff and then go to Wikipedia and find out, okay, let me sit there and match this person's face, this person's name. Anyway, her mom comes in and says that she's planning on staying for to LA, and Paris is happy about that. It's all getting great as long as they have her do something, you know. Like, okay, cool, you're gonna be her, you're going to be Paris' support system. Please tell me you're going to be doing something else besides that. I guess time will tell. So Zende is happy and he's patting himself in the back for surprising Paris that way. And Carter, before that, Carter was sitting there thinking about how confused Paris was. So confused that, well, we already get the jokes. Um, so after that, Zende comes in there, pats himself in the back, talk about the surprise, and did a great job. And then he talks about he was so excited, and he had a wedding ring, and of course Carter's like, yeah, I knew about that. Quinn told me, Quinn was supposed to keep her damn mouth shut, but whatever, it's fine. She's like, yeah, I knew about the ring, and then he was like, well, I was gonna propose to her, but then she started throwing out key phrases like casual and young and not being tied down, and he was like, oh, well, we never really like put labels. He said we never really put labels in our relationship. I was like, that's funny because I I can clearly remember Paris looking like she had a headache because Thomas was sitting there asking her out, and she was like, "Oh, well, I have a boyfriend, right? We didn't use labels. Who uses labels?" So he's like, I don't know what's going on. Maybe I have competition. I don't know who else it's gonna be. Um, Cars just stands there, well, sits there looking all somewhat guilty. Not guilty enough to sit there and tell him the truth. No, no, no. He's protecting Paris. He's being a good friend. Can't even say that with a straight face. He's being a so-called good friend to Zende somehow, because that makes sense. And he's gonna keep his mouth shut. He's gonna keep his mouth shut until he catches them in the act. And then Paris can stand there with that stupid look on her face and be like, "Oh, I can explain." And Carter can just, I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. But I'm pretty sure he'll come up with something just as equally as dumb as her. Try to explain why he lied to his face, why he, at this, I don't even remember who kissed who first. I think they both kissed at each other at the same time, but he's gonna try to come up with some sort of BS reason why he did it, and he didn't want to hurt him, and blah blah blah. We all know where this is going. We just want to actually get there, but we gotta get through a bunch of shenanigans, and of course, we got to be completely entertained by listening to Sheila monologue to herself about how much of a good job that she did. Now people shouldn't sit there and mess with her. I gotta actually sit there and say this with a straight face. That's okay. You know what? I'm gonna be honest. That sucks. When he said that he didn't know how Paris feels about him. Regardless of whatever sort of relationship that they're in, if it's casual, if it's whatever, you shouldn't have to be in any sort of relationship with somebody and not know how this person feels about you. Just have that stuff lingering in the air every time you wake up and you sit there and think about that person. You don't know which way is it going to go. I mean, yeah, I've called Zenday um, pretentious and a bunch of other things, but I mean, with that being said, I that still sucks. I still feel bad for him. Um, especially him, especially seeing how he's with somebody who is just as flaky as can be. Um, but that's his journey. Is his mistake to sit there and deal with. So that does sort of suck though. Because listen, I'm not saying this guy is perfect, but he is trying to treat her right. And it sucks when somebody hurts you like that, and then you turn it to a complete dick to everyone else that you meet and put all your problems on the next person because of how the previous person treated you. Good job, Paris. Good job. Well, this was fun. And with that being said, I'm gonna go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next video.